welcome to another exciting show. Sorry, we've got the giggles tonight. Now, first of all, sober, right. Now, first of all, we got a birthday greetings. Oh, yes, to Sue Johnson. It's her birthday today. And it's the 21st of March, and it's the first day of spring. So happy birthday to you, Sue. Now, we've had a few technical problems, and tonight we've got Dave the Survivalist. No, that's not Dave the Survivalist. That's his hot thing that he's going to show. And we've got Yorkshire Dave, because I've told all the ladies that he's got something hot he's going to show. So there we go.
Yeah. Well, good evening, everybody.
But Dave said earlier, hello, Dave. You said earlier, and so we hope we got the sound sorted. But
everything's gone fixed.
It couldn't be worse than last week, because with about 1 minute to go, Miles was on and his computer was playing up, and he said, "Oh, you have to do it through the telephone." Can you imagine? My old phone holding it to the microphone. That would have been a good program, wouldn't it? What? Oh,
stop it now. This is just going to be funny. Right.
Are you all right, Dave? Can we start with you, or should that guy have the gig?
No, we're all right. Yeah, I can hear everyone.
Right. Good. Okay. Now we're going to talk about survival. Well, I say survival because what's happening is our heating bills are going up, or electricity bills are going up by 56%. But before we start, people are probably wondering, what have penguins and utility companies got in common? Now, anybody? Yeah. It's actually penguins and utility companies. They can both stick their bills up their arse. So that's what they got in common, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now let's go to chat and have a look in here, shall we? First of all, yeah. Is that amazing? We've got that
I
chimney.
can only see this.
Yes.
Well, hang on a minute. We go to chat. Let's have a quick
We're
look.
all waiting to see that.
We got what we got? We got Jay Allison. Jay Lasson. Good evening, people. Oh, we had some people in chat last night and they've disappeared. So nothing personal, you know, we're very friendly, but a lady from rugby, I think it was, and she's disappeared. So hello. We've got Bob Holyoke. Oh, sorry, not a lady. It was Bob. Sorry, mate. You're still taking the tablets, are you?
It's like
an Olympic swimmer, isn't it? There was a bloke and now decided to become a female.
All right.
Is it Olympic? No, not Olympics. He's won the female championships or something. A swimmer. He couldn't do it as a bloke, so he decided to say that he identifies himself as a female. So
the Nigerian Paralympic synchronized swimming team actually got banned because they was using a seal.
Oh my god!
By the way, I gotta say, Survivalist Dave likes to remain incognito. That's why he's got his mask over his face. You see, so that's because otherwise you'll be able to hear him otherwise. So anyway, here we go. We got this weirdo. I don't know who she is. You know who she is? No, never mind. And
should be putting rude comments up. I can tell the time.
Louise Wilcox. That's good, isn't it? Oh, hang on. There's Sue Jordan. Good evening, everyone. Looking forward to another. Oh, isn't that nice? Brilliant show. Happy birthday, Posh Sue. That's who we know us. It's Posh Sue. Posh Sue. Right. Posh and we got. We actually modelled Sue Jordan up with Sue Roo. So good evening, all. Looking forward to Dave's heat thing.
Yes.
Yes, it's going to get hot tonight. Oh, we've got. Gone. We got. Hang on. What's happening? Oh, yeah. Kim. Hello, everyone. Happy birthday. Shotgun, Sue. She said to a pigeon, I think it was Clint Eastwood's bit, you know, go ahead, punk.
Make my day.
Go ahead. punk make my day. We got Flat Earth. Hello, my name is Dave.
Yep.
Is
Hello,
it really?
Dave.
Oh, hello, Dave. Penguins are yummy, are they really? All right, Chris, Dave, Deb, a good
Right, Kev.
Deb, and good people. Not been here for a while. Oh well, never mind. Need a note from your parents. Got Ancient Ruby, Sean Hamer. Here we go, and
And that's yours.
Bob Hollyoak. Hi, I'm from Rugby. Yeah, sorry I muddled you up. I could see you're a bloke, but you know all this transgender stuff. You know all this reassignment.
Yes, you
Did I tell
you can't assume.
Did I tell you when I went into the library and I wanted to use their internet? This was a couple of years back, and they said, "Oh, have you got a library card?" I said, "Oh, yeah." They said that's ancient. I hadn't been there for about 20 years, so I filled up this form. And they said, "Are you cross-gender, Irish, all this?" So I ticked all the boxes.
Just to confuse
So
things.
it gave me a strange, half funny look. I never heard anything before, so I thought, nutter, you know.
Do they all duck down behind the counter when you go in?
Sorry?
So do they all duck down behind the counter when you go in?
I think they will in future, you know. Well, I thought, why not put down you know, West Indian one-legged lesbian or something, you know. I might get something free.
Yeah, you might.
Right, now we got Kevin. He started off with, don't forget about America's Woman of the Year.
Bob.
We got, was
A
it
bit of both.
Shotgun Bob, and then we've got Flat oh, hang on, what we got here? I've lost myself here. AEG Combi Microwave, unusable after update. Device thinks it's a steam oven.
Oh, that's useful.
Yes, and there's a person. I'm a man who likes women. Yes,
Oh, so a pair of plugs for that.
Yeah, that's good. Yes,
that's
yes.
A nice, refreshing change.
It is, isn't it? You know, I put a link on. What was it there? WhatsApp, and it showed. You remember the film Bullet with Steve McQueen? And I said, "Yeah, 100% male, 100% car, and it had 100% women in it. No, well, I can't say on here, but woofers and weirdos and kinky and LBG, whatever they call it, hadn't been invented then, so they couldn't put it in. You know, and it's a
alphabet soup deviants.
Yes.
Alphabet soup deviants.
That's a good one.
What was that? Alphabet
soup deviants.
That's it. Well, it's like the film Bullet. Crap film, but bloody good car chase. And you see
the music. The music.
What's it? We've got Paul Green. Hi, everyone. Got a surprise today. All the Perspex screens have gone in the M&S near my daughter's.
Oh.
Was it something to do with your daughter? Oh, well, that's nice, isn't it?
Perspex Steve.
Yes. Robert Moore. Hello. All thumbs up. Everyone remember to share. Oh, we're that kind.
Yeah.
Thanks, Robert. So there we go. So we better push on with the show because ladies are queuing up to see your hot thingy, Dave. So over to you to see your hot thingy.
Right. Good evening, everyone, and thanks for tuning in. And last time I was on, I was talking about an alternative way to heat a room in a house. If you get to the point where you're in such dire fuel poverty that you have actually got no gas or electric in your house, which is probably going to happen to a very large amount of people after October. And what it is I found a YouTube video with this item on it. Last time I was on, I showed it to people. Well, Chris showed it to people. And the guy was using something that was painted, and other people was suggesting that they'll get a galvanized steel version. I was explaining how dangerous this is and advised everyone not to do it. So I've actually gone out and bought all these stainless steel parts for this item now, and I've constructed a far safer version, which is a lot safer to operate and very simple to assemble and disassemble. And it can eat. with a small burner, which is this one. I've only got a small burner in it because, I mean, you can have any size burner you want, but this is quite economical. And it's much better than a 2 kilowatt blower. And it runs completely off grid because the fan that drives it is a USB rechargeable fan from Wilco.
Yep.
Sorry, from Boyes. It's a Pifco one. And it runs off a solar panel. So you could have no electricity and no gas and still run this appliance to heat a room up to, well, we've had it up to nearly 25 degrees in research and development earlier today.
Brilliant.
And it's a good item and it's excellent. What I'm going to do is, actually, I'm tethered to the computer by a wire, so this might go a bit wrong, but I'm going to turn the camera on so you can see the item, and then I'll point the various parts out, and then I'll disassemble it and show how simple it is to reassemble, and then we'll light the burner up and we'll fire it up so everybody can see it operating.
Excellent.
Well, look forward to that.
I'll be
Brilliant.
turning the camera so we can see it.
Now Cryer's just
around there.
And
hello, John.
There it is. You can see that it's propped up on some bricks, and the holes are facing sideways, so it allows enough air in for the burner. Can everyone still hear me?
Yes,
we can still hear you. Don't worry.
Okay, now here is the burner, and it just goes on some corrugated cardboard so that it's easy to slide in and out when it's hot. You see, like that.
Brilliantly good idea. That is a good one.
So you're not going to burn yourself because the stove does get hot when it's when it's running. I'm going to try and go around the other side without ripping the wire out. I don't really know how to do this, to be fair, but.
Well, I was going to add that it'd be a good idea if people buy 2 of those burners, because you can't add fuel to it whilst it's hot because it'll straight up.
You definitely can. But what it is it cools down quite quickly. And because we've left it tall here, with the addition of this coupling thing, it actually is tiltable. You can see how it's adjustable on angle.
Yeah.
So we've designed it to be a tiltable version, and the fan itself tilts as well. So you can angle it to get the perfect aim for the hot air that comes out of it.
Brilliant.
And it just comes apart like that.
Yeah.
And this is a coupling device that comes apart, and then there's another part at the bottom, and that's it. It's just 3 parts, and there's no nuts and bolts. It just does it by alleged gravity, and alleged gravity. Yeah, it's
and it's stainless steel as well. You managed to get stainless steel.
This has been fabricated of 100% stainless steel, so it's absolutely safe when it gets hot. And not only that, I've designed it with a tall tower in the middle here. It's quite a lot taller than the one that we pointed out on YouTube.
Yeah.
And this means that if the fan stops, it's not going to get that hot that it's going to become dangerous. While the fan's running and it's on full power, you can actually stand with your hand on top of it.
Yeah, so it's directing the heat through.
It's ultra safe.
Yeah.
And this is what we've tried to concentrate on. Now, you can make it run hotter by removing these and having this down nearly on the stove top.
Right.
But then this gets extremely hot.
Yeah.
And you've got to make sure that you're on the ball in case the fan stops.
Yeah.
Because you don't want it overheating. Because you'll get you might get, because it's all welded up.
Yeah.
And I don't know if any of your viewers know about welding, but there's always some pollutants in a weld.
Yes.
And they will burn off harmlessly, but you want to try and avoid the situation where you've got smoke coming out of it. So this is why we've left it tall. But you can get a hotter burn, and anybody who gets one can manipulate the height and angles and things any way that they see fit at their own risk. So That's about
Wow, that is
how it goes.
impressive.
This
You've done a fantastic job
this
there, Dave.
item
You
here
really have.
is 20 quid, and it's completely off grid. USB rechargeable 3-speed fan. We only run it on the lowest speed setting with one burner underneath.
Right.
But if you wanted to put 2 burners underneath, it'll run a lot hotter, but it'll use twice as much fuel, obviously.
Yeah.
So I'm
brilliant. That really is brilliant.
We've got 3 bricks holding the fan at the right height, and 3 bricks here to make a 3-sided box to get a kind of a rocket stove effect with the flame going up the
drawing it up
the middle, and it works really well. I'm not sure if I don't think people will be able to hear me if I take the headphones off for me to fill the burner up and fire it up, but I could do that. I could do that as a silent movie if you want to talk.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll fill in because he's done a brilliant job there.
That is a really good idea. I'm impressed with that.
People that I know that.
Well, it wasn't my idea, but I've built a safe, practical version of it. The other guys wasn't safe, so
yeah.
Well, that cardboard idea is brilliant. It's simple, but brilliant. Something that people wouldn't think of.
No.
Yeah, well, you need to be able to get the burner out safely when it's hot. So
could you do that with a plank of wood, Dave, if you didn't have a bit of cardboard?
Yeah, well, plank of wood. We'll say some like hardboard or something like that, because you don't want anything too thick, because the higher up the burner gets, the less air it can pull in.
Yeah.
Into the actual flame area, and it affects the efficiency.
But
it's everything's got variables on it, and people can tinker with various heights and distances.
Yeah,
to
their heart's content, because it's fully adjustable.
Yeah.
Also, that heater at the bottom, you did mention what it was. Shall we remind our viewers?
This is the Trangia alcohol burner.
Trangia alcohol burner.
Trangia alcohol.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I've still got it.
And I'll just go and get the. I'll show the bottle of fuel that's the only safe fuel to use. I'll just have to remove the headphones.
Okay, because the fuel, Dave was saying that it's gone up, I think about £6 over this last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
It was 30 quid, it's got up to £6. And the beauty of this fuel is that it's, if you use paraffin, it stinks and it gives off a terrible residue.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Bioethanol.
Bioethanol. That's it. Biofuel. Yes. And he got it off of Amazon, but I've seen it on eBay. You can get it on eBay. Pretty easy.
I've just noticed before it shoots off out of sight, Louise has just said...
That's the close-up of the fuel label. Don't try and use purple meths if anybody's watching.
Oh, God, no.
You can only use bioethanol, because otherwise it's dangerous indoors.
Yeah.
This is perfectly safe for use in the home.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't produce any carbon monoxide, and it has virtually no odour when it's burning. So this is why I've chosen that fuel for it. I'll be going away from the microphone, and I'll light the burner up, and you can see it start up and things.
Brilliant. Louise wants a full list of the parts necessary. Including brick type and burner. So if Dave can pass them on to John, John's got her email address, so he can email them over.
And also, it's all right for us, but Dave got that stainless steel piping and that from a place in Essex.
I'm actually using the pocket blowtorch to.
Oh yes.
Yes, got the pocket blowtorch.
Obviously, not everybody's got one of them. You can just use an ordinary cigarette lighter.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, we didn't sort out Deb you becoming a moderator before the show, did we?
No, we
had the giggles, didn't we?
We're laughing.
We'll do it next week. Well, it's always a next week. That's all right. So
yeah, we'll sort it.
It'll be sorted. I
see Town Cry has nominated you for going down the man shed and making these contraptions.
Oh yes, Chris. Looks like we're down the mansion. Yes, I think so. And also, I get 10% trade discount from Wix for those bricks. So
there you go. Perfect.
When you first light the burner up,
mm-hmm.
but if you can see it or not,
no, because your name's in the way.
No,
That's actually on that seat.
Right, yeah. It's obviously Chris knows about these burners, but the viewers might not. You have to leave it burning for a couple of minutes until the stove blooms and starts coming through the jets on it.
Yeah.
And this will take a while because it has to heat the fuel up inside the burner so that it starts to evaporate through the holes.
Right.
So you don't put it under the stove intake until it's fully burning and fully warmed up. It might take a minute or so.
And they're very cheap because I did make.
These are about £15 or something, but you can make them for nothing. Chris makes them. I know that he can make them.
Yeah.
It's not as good as that what you've got there because you can't adjust the flame with the one I make. You can adjust the amount of air intake and that.
Yeah.
My one I make is called a penny stove.
Yeah.
And it's a basic thing. That is a little bit more sophisticated. So it might be worth buying one. But of course, if you're a bit hard up, a couple of Coke cans will do the trick, you know.
Yeah, I've seen that done before. Yeah.
But that's brilliant. But now what we got here? Oh, hang on a minute. We got here. Good evening. I'm late to the party. That looks interesting. What do you think? Detention or I would say.
She didn't apologise, so I think she needs to have a detention.
Yes, definitely. Right.
We'll
see you afterwards.
Yes. We'll give you lines to do.
Do you see that with Spike Milligan? He was on a talk show once. A bloke walked on and said, for a comment to the ladies, I've got to stand here in front of the camera. And then Jonah Lumley was on the show. She said, well, could you move off, please? It's on YouTube, actually. Right. And Spike Milligan says, don't worry, to the bloke. See me afterwards, he said, and I'll push your head, I'll kick your head in.
Yeah, the stove is actually taking its time because we've filled it to capacity in case people wanted to see it. You know, people who haven't maybe joined us yet won't be able to see it if it had already gone out. So we've filled it up, you know, as much as you can. So that's 2/3 full. Right. Consequently, the volume of fuel in it's going to take a bit more time to get up to temperature, so that it. But once it goes, it'll go. You'll be able to see it. It'll get a lot higher.
Don't be warming your lager up, Dave. There's no worse than warm lager.
There's none left. It's all at body. It's all at body temperature now.
Well, actually, Aunt Sally's come back. She said, "I will take a good spanking instead. I'll be around I'll be around tomorrow afternoon. All right."
Can I come as well?
Hang on a minute. We got here town crier Louise Wilcox will let you in our man shed. We need someone to make the tea. What?
Sexist, but I like it. Should we coming round to beat you up now?
Well, we got something here from Kevin, which is a serious point. Kevin Keenan. I don't get it. Why are we talking about survival? We should be getting organised to remove these gangsters in suits from power. Yes, but the thing is, what's happened over the last 2 years? Remember, we're only the 30%. There's 30% of people that believe everything the government say. I mean, if the government say, stick your finger up your arse and the other one in your ear, people be walking around like that.
Yeah.
And in the park yesterday, we saw people walking around with the...
You can see that the stove is now the stove's now fully operational.
Look at that!
You can see that the flame has gone a lot bigger. So we'll
I'll tell you something.
We'll shove it in.
It's going in.
The
Coke cans don't have a flame like that. I can assure you, because I've lit it. They do not. They're not as impressive as that, Dave. They really
just have to start the fan.
We'll know when it's getting hot when John starts taking his clothes off.
Right, here it comes.
It's all going on.
And there it is running. The fan is whisper quiet. It's a lot quieter than your 2 kilowatt blower, and you can, while it's still reasonably cool, you can just adjust that to face whatever you want. And there's hot air coming out the front, and that's it.
We could get a blowjob at the same time from the fan, of course. What I'm talking about.
Oh dear. I was just thinking of like a jet engine peeling all paint off at walls.
Yeah, and that's it. And that is now that's now eating this room up with no requirement for any gas or electricity.
Brilliant, that.
That is brilliant.
Can you show us the end where the fan is, Dave?
I can, strange enough, I can see it on the screen. There it is. There it is. And there's no power going to that fan at all.
No, it's completely rechargeable. It's been recharged, but you can recharge it via solar panel, or you can use the Anchor Power Core 21,000 milliamp battery to use it. It runs on any USB power source.
Right.
And it's going. It's running. Yeah, it's all running. Yeah, it's blowing hot air out.
Pifco, was it?
Pifco, yeah.
Yeah, it is virtually silent.
That's great.
And it's a good thing. It's a good item. Yeah. And that will now heat this room up to 20-something degrees, and it's fantastic.
That is.
Obviously, if you wanted it to heat up quicker, we've made an extra wide bottom end on here.
Yeah.
And you can put 2 of those burners in there at once, and then it'll run twice as hot, but obviously you're going to use twice as much fuel.
Yeah. You'd have to have your fan on higher as well for the more flame, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a bit of a trial and error, really. You want quite a slow throughput of air.
Right. Yeah.
Is all it needs to draw the flame up. I mean, you can see the flame kind of flickering down the pipe if you look in the end, but I can't move the laptop to show you because it's like it's on a wire and things.
Yeah.
So I was toying with the idea of doing this on my phone so I could walk around it 360 degrees.
John's saying a word there. But what I was going to say is...
Right, John says we can pull the mains lead out the laptop.
Right.
Is that this one?
Yes, I can still hear you.
And then I can go around it. So we'll do that.
Oh, Aunt Sally wants to know if you could cook on it.
Obviously, I'm not going to...
Yeah, you can, actually.
Right.
Yeah,
you can cook on the burner. It was designed for cooking, but...
Right.
Yeah, you can cook on it. But
sure
the ones that I make, the flame just comes out a little bit. And it's
you're looking right down the end of it now.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that.
And then...
That's amazing.
You'll see here that you always want a gap between the...
the fan and the pipe.
This is brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
There's the gap between the end and the fan.
Yeah.
And you can see the... if you look through the holes in the bricks, if I can get the camera angle right.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we can see it. That's brilliant.
Fab.
Dave, I can't thank you enough for this. This is brilliant, isn't it? This is... You're going to save lives. You are definitely going to save lives with this.
Yeah.
The problems we've run into is there's quite a bit of work to do on fit and finish when the parts arrive because they arrive with sharp edges and things.
Yeah. So
I've had to do quite a lot of filing and sand to get them handleable safely and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm actually going to market these as a kit that you can buy all the lot. So
well done. Yeah, that's a good idea. Because Aunt Sally's just saying, "Where can I get that burner?" Well, she came in late, so she didn't hear how you'd put it all together.
Right. Well, I mean, I can put it out and then deconstruct it for the benefit of the viewers that haven't arrived on time, if you want.
Well, it's up to you. Will it take long to cool down?
Well, when the fan's running, hang on, I'll just put it so you can see it. When the fan's running, because we've left this tall here, you can see I've got my hand on top of it.
Yeah.
No problem. Now, the bottom half is hot. This is hot.
Yeah.
But the fan keeps the top tube cool. So, say if you had a free flying budgie that landed on top of it, it wouldn't burn its feet. But it'd be a problem if it flew down the end.
Yeah.
But think what you'd save on chicken wings and things.
I was just going to say that, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fried
and heat as well.
There's a lot of heat coming out of the end of here now.
We can actually see. You can see. Can you see the side there? You can actually see the air, the heat coming out the side.
Yes, you can.
John can feel the room getting warmer, and he's like 10 feet away from it.
Is he stripping off yet?
So it is a very not yet. No, but it's a very good item, and I'm very pleased with the design. Now, because it's made out of stainless steel, and it's got a properly engineered factory-made burner, and it's an off-the-shelf fan and things that you have to buy.
Yeah.
It's definitely not what you'd call a dirt cheap item.
Well, no, but once you've made it, you've got it, haven't you?
Yeah, once you've got it, if once you've bought it, then you can. There's no to stop you hoarding bottles of that fuel, because it's at the moment it's still on $31.99 for 12 liters on Amazon.
Yeah, I was just going to say,
just buy 10 packs of that, and you're stocked up. Because then if you get to the point where you haven't got enough on your social credit score to keep your smart meter on.
Yeah.
Right. If they start saying you've said something naughty online, so we're switching your electric off.
Yeah.
Right. Let them.
Yeah.
Because you don't need anything to keep warm apart from this.
We've got a lot of questions in chat at the moment, and shall we, as it's heating up, shall we go to chat, Dave, or not?
Yeah, you can go. Yeah, definitely.
Right, excuse me if I can't sort of read them all out. Now we've answered this one. Now the Coke can one that I make, that wouldn't work on this.
No,
I think it would. I think it would work.
Really?
Yeah. But it probably wouldn't put as much heat out as the Trangia, to be fair.
Yeah, you're right. But,
I don't think it would. I mean, it could do. I'm not trying to diss your stoves or anything like that. But what I'm saying is, this is it's better than a 2 kilowatt blower with just one burner.
That's brilliant, though. And you worked out something like 8 pence an hour to run.
Well, no, we'd actually miscalculated that, but there's that many variables. It really there's loads of variables on. What the atmospheric pressure is. It burns faster or slower at different altitudes and things like this. Rather than us trying to claim that it's dirt cheap to run, what I think trumps everything, regardless of the running cost, which is it's not dear to run, right? But the thing about it is you are completely off grid. You're not dependent on any of these energy companies.
Correct.
Right. So if it costs the same as an economy gas fire to run or something like that, it might cost a similar amount to that to run now, right? But when we get to October and that gas fire is 500% dearer to run, this is going to win every day.
Spot on. And you can also make your own fuel.
You can make your own fuel, but there's obviously extra expenditure involved with that. You have to buy a stovetop distiller, and you have to know how to brew alcohol with, vegetable matter and sugar and yeast and things.
But that's say at a push, because what I'll do, I might like using this that fuel. I'm going to try and get some. My Coke can idea another week and see how high the flames go on screen to show people that how it works.
Yeah, well, the flame will always go much higher once it's underneath the thing because it's getting sucked up. It's like a rocket stove effect. The air going across the top is causing a draw effect, like a chimney. So I mean, the flames. I'm looking at the end into the end of it now, and the flame inside there is. I'll just turn the camera around. The flame inside this thing is near there.
Right.
Yeah.
It's massively taller than it is when it's out here, because when it goes in there, it immediately gets pulled by the air going over the top, and that's the genius of it. It massively increases the burn efficiency by a forced air combustion.
But that in a room, like for instance, I speak to a lot of people that say when they go to have a bath or a shower and they can't afford to heat the house, it's freezing. Whereas you put that safely, if you've got a big enough bathroom, in the bathroom, and that'd be just enough time to keep it.
I wouldn't recommend running any electric fan in a bathroom full of
No,
steam.
I understand, yes.
Even though it's not a mains one, you won't want to damage your fan.
Yeah, you got a good point there. I didn't think of that. You've got a very good point.
You'd be able to put it on the landing there.
I mean, you put it in your living room and then just run out the bathroom into the living room and you'll be warm, won't you?
Yeah.
Right.
And again, I've done a few test runs with this earlier on, and I've decided to leave because these parts are removable, the bottom parts, but I've decided to leave it as a tall vertical piece because whilst the fan's running, I can just happily put my hand on there. You can see that now. My hand's on there, and it's cool. It's cool to the touch. Now, if you do move it down a bit, when it gets to here, you don't want anybody touching this bit.
No.
But the beauty of it is this here is all hot, and it's all creating latent heat release out into your room. So not only have you got hot air blowing out the front of this thing, like here, you've got latent heat transfer through conduction, warming your room in a kind of a more ambient way, just by that. And also because another advantage that we discovered in research and development earlier on is because this is tall. Actually, if the fan runs out of battery while it's on, this won't come to any harm because it's really tall. And we've tried it without the fan, and quite a lot of heat comes out of both ends of this tube, both ends of the top tube. So it still remains a really good room heater if the fan's not working. So say you was completely off grid and you didn't have enough sun to charge your solar panel to charge your fan battery up, this will still keep your room warm without the fan.
Right. Yep.
But it's obviously not as efficient. And if you've got a room where the insulation at the top is not really up to scratch and things, the heat obviously just rises and a lot of it will go out the ceiling. Whereas this blows it round the room and warms you up.
Excellent.
Because I feel
it's a very good item. I'm really happy with it.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant.
We're definitely going to have power outages. I think that is.
I'm going to. We haven't really fixed a retail price for this, but I'm going to put it on John's website. He's been kind enough to say we can stick it on there as a kit.
Excellent.
And you can have an
what it'll do is it will. I'll just let everybody know if they're interested in it. We won't be sending the bricks because they're too heavy to post.
Yeah.
All you have to do is go down to Jewson's. That's where these was from. These bricks, bricks, right? Yeah. They're called engineering bricks. I don't know why, but that's what they call them. And they're 78p each.
No, that's nothing.
So we're currently running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bricks for this setup.
Yeah.
Oh no, everything's gone small, mate. Something's happened on the computer.
You're okay. We're still hearing you loud and clear, and we still see you. So there's nothing wrong in this direction.
That's it. You're back. You're back on.
You're back.
Sorry about that,
Okay.
mate.
That's
Right.
all right.
Yeah.
I bet you
It
must
will.
be frying now. You're roasting where you are.
Yeah, it's hot here now. It's really hot here where I'm sat. Just so that people know. I mean, it does seem. I'll just get the camera at the right angle here. What we'll do now is I'm gonna remove the burner from the stove chamber.
Wow.
And then all you do is that.
Easy as that.
Yeah. Just put the metal lid on it, and that's it. And then you can just feel free to let that cool down so it's safe to handle. And as Chris pointed out earlier on, don't ever pour the bioethanol in that while it's hot.
No.
If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to pour it in.
Yeah.
If it's cool enough to touch, then you're safe to pour it in. It might hiss a bit, but it won't burst into flames if it's cool enough to touch.
Yeah.
Because it's got quite a high flash point.
Yes.
I'm really with that.
We don't know how much they're going to be, but I'm not doing all the fit and finish and filing all the edges and sanding things down to make them all right to touch. I ain't doing that for nothing because, I'm just not.
You got to make it. So, as I said, Dave, you can have an advert on this show. You'll have an advert on here. Yeah. Because we definitely need adverts.
I mean, we have been tossing around the figure of 150, but it nearly cost that to get all the stuff because these are stainless steel fabrications. Everybody can feel free to Google how much they cost.
Yeah.
We're not here to make a killing out of people, but I'm not going to make a mug out myself either.
No, that's too right.
I agree with you. I mean, I talked about making concrete and using perlite, but the big problem, as you quite rightly said, Dave, the heat would then be trapped inside there and wouldn't radiate out to the house.
That's right. What you'd be doing is I'll just move this fan and I'm going to put it on the front of this to just cool it down a bit. See, that's the beauty of a mobile fan that's got no wires, right? It's still going, yeah. You can say you've blown it out and then you think you might want to relight it again in a few minutes. You can just play this on where the burner is and it'll cool everything down really quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, that's still too hot to touch, but with cold air blowing on it, it's not going to be like that for long. So it is good to have something that's not got wires on it.
Yeah.
It's so simple. The whole setup.
I'm actually going to have that on my face now because I've been sat right next to this stove and I'm boiling my head off. So.
I bet you
Ancient Ruby wants to know, would cooking oil work? I've seen some use.
No, don't ever try doing that. No.
That's
don't do that.
Don't do that, Ruby.
This is the only safe fuel. Ethanol, pure ethanol, is the only safe fuel for indoors, right? And oil is a wicking item. Now, we've said no, but it's only a no for this burner, right? If you was to have an oil burner, then it'd be like a paraffin stove that you use to heat a greenhouse. Now, I have got a cooking version of this. It's a 1960s Valor paraffin stove, and it's meant to have a pan on top. That will heat a room up probably better than this, but it stinks.
Yeah.
And it just gets everywhere. You think that you've poured it in safely with a funnel and things, but paraffin just seems to find its way absolutely everywhere. Yeah. And cooking oil is a much heavier viscosity than paraffin, and it's quite hard to wick. So you'd be stuck with a burner with a wick in it, and you'd maybe have to have 4 burners with wicks in to get half the thermal output of this alcohol stove.
Yeah.
So yes, cooking oil can work in a wicked lamp, but it's a messy business. It's dangerous, and if it bursts into flames, it's a problem.
Yes, it is.
You're spot on there. Now there's one here. Now we got here. Where are we? Oh yes, like this one. Ancient Ruby says, but solar needs sun, and that is being covered over. You're right there. And now we got here.
Yeah, that's a good point that the viewers made about the sun not always being available. And we did look at this during research and development for this. And I don't know if all the viewers caught what I was saying about it. But this being tiltable, right? It's tiltable like that, look. Yeah, it's got a joint on it. It's very flexible. It bends through. like 30 degrees or something like that. Now, if you have it dead straight and you've got the burner underneath here, but with no fan, a lot of heat comes out of both ends of this, and you get a lot of conduction heat coming out the sides. So it will still heat your room up, but not quite as efficiently as it does with the fan. So if your viewer is concerned about having a solar rechargeable fan to make it off grid, then the fan is not essential due to the fact that we've added this extra safety distance here. So you can easily run this burner, because don't forget, when the burner is in there and the fan is running, the flame is very tall. But once the fan gets switched off, it goes down to about here. So it's far less hazardous, but you're still getting a very similar amount of BTUs out of it. And it doesn't actually need the fan to operate. The fan just makes it far more efficient and a more pleasant room heating.
Blast it across the room as well. But we got here an interesting one here. Answer, where can I get that burner? Well, I've seen on eBay.
I'll be including them in the kit. Because there's some that are Trangia copies, and I've got a source for them, and I can include them more economically than people can buy them.
And we got here from Flat Earth. I survived in the middle of winter in a VW Caddy with a mattress and 2 duvets. My poo was frozen instantly. Permafrost up your ass. I bet you did. And we got here. Oh, that's kind of you, Sue Jordan. I'll buy you one.
I'll buy one from cottage industry going.
I'm not sure we're going to make them, but once you Dave will be making them. Cottage industry going. Right, here we go.
Yeah, I'm not into cottaging at all.
It tells us.
Yeah. You don't call me Mandelson.
Think the man handle your son, you mean?
Yeah.
Allegedly. The town crier says, is it a constant heat or can it be adjusted?
It can definitely be adjusted, because I'll just that's safe to touch. Right. On the top of the burner is this. Now it's a snuffer. You've just seen me use it to snuff the flame out, right? Now, if you wanted it, say the fuel to burn a bit longer but not quite as hot, then this has got a simmer ring.
Yes.
Right? And you can cover half the holes up, a third of the holes up, 2/3 of the holes up. And this will block half the jets on this burner, so that the fuel, say if you blocked half the jets up, the fuel will last twice as long, but you'll get half the amount of heat out of it.
The problem
it is fully adjustable. There's a big problem with it. You've got to decide what level you want it on before you put it in. Because this is going to be hot. It's going to be hot. And you've got to have alternative means to snuff it out while this is on. Which will be, a spoon. You just snuff it out with a spoon. It's not a big deal.
No, it's just cutting the oxygen off it, isn't it?
Yeah. So, but I just use that as a snuffer, because the way I see it, although this is a good thing to have for cooking, the simmer control. It was, to be fair, it was designed as a cooking stove. This. I just say, run it on full. Then, when you get too hot, pull the burner out and put it out, and then. When you want to put it on again, light it again. That's it.
Yeah.
I like it simple.
People have actually
I like to keep things simple.
People have asked whether, this was on the previous program, whether you can use that eco fuel in primer stoves, and the answer is no, because primer stoves, because they run on pressure.
Yeah, that's right.
Eco fuel is a totally different thing. So no, you can't. And with primer stoves, really, logically, the only place you could safe to use them is outdoors, really, because
that's right. Yeah.
Off. I mean, people used to use them in barges and things like that, but paraffin. But they are brilliant, And it says here, I think
this is all cool enough to pick up now. I've just took the top off it, see, it's all.
Yeah.
It doesn't. You can see how all the quality welding inside there.
Oh, yes.
It's a proper quality item. It's really going to last forever. That.
Yeah.
It's. It's been done by professional stainless steel fabricators and things.
Yeah.
And Aunt Sally says, well, you've answered the question here. Does that contraption have to be welded together? The answer is no.
No, right. It comes apart. You just do that. It just, you know, it works. It works on alleged gravity. You can see it's fully tiltable, which is quite a good feature because you can have it facing upwards or downwards. You know, I just love it.
It is brilliant. And then we got here, we did answer this question. How much do the fuel cans cost? And it was 36. It was about £1 a litre. Was it about £1 a litre, Dave?
Kim's put ethanol 6 times 1 litre on eBay, $21.99 including postage. So you get 6 litres.
But you get 12 for $31.99 on Amazon including postage. 12 for $31.99. Right. That's the cheapest I've found it.
Yeah. So
John's going to put a link to the fuel on his website for anybody who wants to order this kit. Now, I'll be putting them together per order because I've got a lot of fit and finish to do, sanding the sharp bits off and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be something that's available in big numbers all at once.
No.
So there might be a wait for it of a
it's
few
like
days.
The Aston Martin of the heater world.
I think you'll be saving lives with this. I seriously mean. Now we've got here Louise Wilcox. No smart meter here, but the fuel shortages will be global. We will have rolling blackouts of both gas and electricity. Well, if your electricity is off, you can't use your gas because I want a couple of these so I can stop paying the huge corporations anything.
Yeah.
Good point. Flat Earth, I disagree here. Well, I do agree in a way. We don't need heat. Wear clothes. Well, yes, but when it is freezing, your body core temperature goes down, and the environment.
How many clothes you put on?
Yeah, I mean, you've got a lot of old people who don't maintain body heat as well as somebody in the 30s or 40s.
Yeah,
and in that kind of situation, yes, they're going to wear layers of clothes, but to have an atmosphere that's, say, 20 odd degrees, as well as wearing the clothes, is going to keep them people alive. Whereas if it was just 2 degrees and they was wearing clothes, their feet are going to freeze off, their extremities will stop working properly. Yeah. So this is not just aimed at, people who are fit enough to just say, oh, screw it, I'll put a thick jumper on. Yeah. This is to help every age group. That's what I've aimed it at.
That's it. I mean, the core temperature, that is what because if you're running around outside, if you're a kid or something, yes, your core temperature will be high because your heart's running fast.
Yeah. Yeah. Plus
you'll get colder,
Another use is if you was to pack it all up, because it all comes apart really easily, you just take the you just go like that. You just take the top off. It just all comes apart. This one comes off. That's it.
Yeah.
It is actually a safe tent heater.
Right, yeah.
Because there's no carbon monoxide or anything. So you could have it as a blower heater in a tent because it doesn't need no mains. So if you had actually got in such a bad state that you had to bug out and go and live in a tent or under a tarp or in a cave, it'll work anywhere.
Yeah.
Now we got here, Sean Hamer says, the ceiling in my flat became discoloured just from using tea lights. It is petrol after all. No, it isn't petrol after all.
No. The ceiling will get discoloured if you burn anything that's got latent carbon still in it.
Yeah.
The bioethanol has had all the carbon taken out of it by the distillation process, and it doesn't produce any kind of fumes. And a tea light will discolour the ceiling because it's a carbon-based fuel.
Yeah.
You're burning cotton and wax, and they do produce carbon monoxide. Obviously, if it's only a candle, it's going to produce a small amount, but it's not a clean burn like this. This is a clean burning fuel. So this is why I've chosen this fuel. It's for people who maybe can't afford a wood burning stove. They ain't got £3,000 to have a wood burning stove installed.
Yeah.
They can heat their room with this, even if the electric companies are not playing ball, or they've decided to cut you off, or they've invented a debt and added it onto your token meter so that every tenner you put on, you get a quid's worth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, this kind of thing's going on. But what I will say is these bricks, I tried a number of positions with them earlier on, and you really want these holes facing sideways. Don't use the brick flat, because the flame won't get enough air and it won't go high. It won't go really high.
Yeah.
So this is quite an important part of it. When you do get your bricks, use it so that the holes are facing in to the flame, and then the flame can suck as much air in as it needs.
Yeah. Fabulous.
That's great. You got first customer here, Dave. Here issue. It's Aunt Sally. I will definitely be getting myself this kit. So there's your first customer.
It's going to be on John's website as soon as we get a chance to do it.
Yeah.
Right. And Deb and I are taking 96%.
They were up to Bahamas.
Right. Now, this is something from ancient.
There's 40 million homes in Britain. 40 million homes in Britain.
Yep.
I only want half of them to order one of these.
Ancient root.
No, I've got a tickle this evening.
Right. This is my solar torches are not worth buying, for they only last 1 hour, maybe 2 tops, and do not give enough light, let alone using this with solar. Well, if you buy a Chinese special,
it depends how big the solar panel is.
Yeah, no, solar torches. I think
solar torches. Well, the thing about these solar torches, where they've actually got the solar panel on the torch, is don't buy it because they're rubbish. Right?
Fair dues.
My torches are all USB rechargeable, and my solar panel charges anything with a USB port on it, and they're absolutely efficient. my torches are all from a firm called Olight. You've probably heard of them.
Yes.
They are on the expensive end, but you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
Oh, buy cheap, buy twice.
Yes.
And I totally disagree with Flat Earth here, politely and respectfully. You do not need heat to survive. Yes, you do.
Yes.
You do need heat to survive. I'm sorry, you do.
But it depends who you are. You might not need an external heat source in a room. If you was, I mean, I probably don't need one. I can wrap up in a -50 rated military sleep system and sit on the sofa. I can do that. But a lot of maybe a disabled person or an old person might not be able to do that. Might not be able to start getting in military sleeping bags and things, and they might not even know about thermal conservation and things like that. So they're going to want a warm room, and I think it's a no-brainer.
Yeah,
I agree with you. Also, if they're using a computer, their hands will be exposed. You can't wear gloves. Well, you can use sort of gloves with a computer, but most people, you're barehanded. You've got your face that's getting cold, and your feet are getting cold as well.
Yeah,
because you're not moving. You're just sitting there, solitary. Now, all right, if you're running around, if you're doing gardening, fine. But if you're just solitary, I've got cold before now. Blimey, this is getting a bit cold. Now we've got here. This is an interesting one. Kim, I think we read this out earlier. Ethanol, 1 litre eBay.
Yeah, I read that out. Dave said it's cheaper on it on Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon, 12 1 litre for $36.99.
That is a lot cheaper.
Well, it was $36.99 when I bought them. I got mugged off on it because the day after I bought them, they went back down to $31.99, and that's what they're at now.
Right.
So I was annoyed about that.
I think we're talking about here, Sean Hamer. I think he was talking about cooking oil, and we covered that. But he says, leaves your house smelling like a frying pan if you use cooking oil. I know someone who uses it for his Land Rover.
We used to use it in our Land Rover.
It travels cheap.
They don't travel cheap. It used to travel cheap until the government got onto it and put the price of cooking oil up to the same as diesel in the supermarkets.
Yeah.
Because I used to do it.
Yeah, we've done it. Couple of that. It's got to be the older vehicles.
Cooking oil used to be about a quarter of the price of diesel. Yeah, that's when we started putting it in diesel cars, and then the government matched the cooking oil up to the price of diesel, and it's been like that for years.
Yeah, because I remember when diesel cars, not cars, they had Land Rovers with diesel, but not that many cars. I don't think any domestic cars would.
See, that's all cool to the touch now, so it doesn't take long to cool down.
No, it didn't.
But diesel used to be as cheap as chips.
Yeah,
Used to be about half the price of petrol.
And it overtook petrol.
Yeah, and it says here, Ancient Ruby said, I tried oil in a lamp and bloody useless.
Yeah.
Now, this is not a good one from Town Crier. What's the heat output?
Oh, yes.
Yes, that is a very good one. Because
it's a good question because we haven't really got a way of measuring it. What I do know is that it took a lot less time to heat this same room up to 24 degrees than what the 2 kilowatt blower did.
Right.
So that's the heat output. I don't know what else to say to you. It's efficient and it works off grid.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
That American chap said it was 500 degrees, didn't he?
He did, but I've looked into that, and I'm not saying he's lying, but
no.
If you look at it on his video, he's got his actual thermometer, right, and it's clipped on to the front of the metal, right. So his metal might be 500 degrees.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But it certainly warmed you up there, and this is a good one from Ancient Ruby. That is why the real reason they want all electric cars for full control over your life. And funny enough, I reviewed my car tax just before I came on air tonight. And what did it say? Why don't you invest in an electric car?
Yeah.
Which are useless,
yes.
Especially if they catch fire. Now, although I ask questions, I ask for others because I'm actually all prepped for the worst, yet things are being taken away for heat substitute. So this is good. Yes, that's right. Because I've often said, if you wrote a list of how to destroy a country, politicians and governments have done a brilliant job. They've actually done. They could get an award for it, how they destroyed this country.
Just in case anybody's wondering about charging this up, it takes about 6 hours to charge it up from flat to full.
Right.
And if anybody's got the half-price nighttime electricity, like the Economy 7, you could charge this up overnight for peanuts.
Yeah.
And then if you haven't got enough sun to use your solar, at least it'll be full and able to run, because this runs for 10 hours on the lowest setting.
Yeah.
10 hours solid.
10 hours. And that Anchor solar, though, that is pretty good. But
as the viewer correctly pointed out, the sun's not always out. So, there's an alternative there.
I disagree. Sorry, go on.
Sorry. Well, Aunt Sally very quickly just said, this is very exciting to see something so innovative.
Yeah, it is.
It is. Right, so he's going to say...
I was just going to say, I disagree with Louise there. She's put 110 a litre for cooking oil, 180 for diesel. We used to run a minivan on used cooking oil. It always smelled like a chip shop. I hated it. I loved it when we did ours. But we didn't get the stuff that had been treated. We went to the cash and carry and bought it neat and did half diesel, half cooking oil.
Yeah, that's what I did, yeah.
And it smelled like a chip shop. I used to love standing behind the van when it started.
Yeah, good, wasn't it? Yeah.
It made you hungry every time you got in it.
Can you do that with modern diesels? I'm not sure you can.
No.
It's got to be an old style.
I did it with an old Mondeo.
Yeah. We did it with we had one of them little Peugeot vans.
50-50, isn't it?
Something it was 50-50,
yeah. Yeah. Because I'm actually thinking if I change my car, I'm thinking of going over to a diesel. Because you haven't got all this pissing around with this new fuel that they've got, which is useless.
No, it's ruined our motorbike.
Really?
Yeah. It just will not run on the new stuff. We have to go for the old stuff, but when are they going to phase the old stuff out?
Well, that's it. I mean, both my cars. I mean, one of my classic one is 1989.
Mm-hmm.
And my smart car is 2002. So they're both from the old stuff.
Yeah.
And hang on, you need some heat to dry clothes. That's another thing. Oh yes, to dry your clothes in the winter.
Yeah, because you can't go around stinking.
That's right. Well, I do.
Right, John's been looking into the pricing structure of how we obtain all these parts to build these stove heater kits. So if anyone wants to buy one, we'll supply everything except the bricks for 150 quid plus postage and packaging.
Right.
You'll also need to buy the fuel,
Yeah.
and we'll provide details and links to that
Yeah.
for anybody who's interested in it. The bricks are 78 pence each from Jewson, and you'll need a minimum of 6.
Yeah.
We'll also provide written instructions of how to put it together.
Yeah.
It takes about 3 minutes flat, so it's designed to be not rocket science, because people want it simple.
Yeah.
The details will be on John's website, the falsificationofhistory.co.uk, and they should be on by tomorrow lunchtime. If anybody's interested in having it, if they want it. If they don't want it, then that's fair enough. At least they've been able to have the chance to it,
Yeah, exactly.
And here is his website on the actual bottom of the screen there, falsificationhistory.co.uk. And also, if you want to email John about it, this is, I'm sure it's okay. He's put it on before. This is his email address. Okay. And I'll also be putting a advert on.
I'd just like to reiterate for anybody who's watching and thinking, oh, 150 quid. I've seen some galvanized steel ones for 14 quid, right?
No.
Do not use galvanized metal for this, because it will kill everybody in your house.
Yeah.
You will all be dead. I can't put it any plainer than that.
No,
because when galvanized steel gets exposed to more than 300 or 400 degrees, the zinc in the galv vaporizes into the air and kills whoever breathes it in.
Yeah.
So it is what it is,
steel.
and it's expensive because it's stainless steel.
Yeah.
And that's how it is.
Aluminium will melt.
Aluminium will melt, and what's worse, it'll melt without warning.
Yeah.
There's no heat affected zone on aluminium. You won't see it go red. You won't see it go blue. 1 minute you'll be looking at it as happy as Larry. Next minute it just turns into treacle and falls all over your table.
Yeah. You don't want that.
No.
Precisely. And it's true what Ancient Ruby has said here. The old they want gone and will be unable to survive, like many poor too. It's all planned for depopulation. I was told all this back in the 70s. And shall we say, I won't say anything, but I'll just do an illustration here.
Yep.
And this, and no more, we will say it. And now we got here.
Louise has made a good point there.
Yeah, go on.
The biggest problem with electric cars is the blind can't hear them. It's not just the blind that can't hear them. I can't hear them either. Roughly £4,000 for an electric car's battery. Cheaper electric at night is actually a falsehood. Ooh.
No, I've got it.
I've got this.
You've got a side. You've got to build
my electric's less than a quarter of the daytime price from 12:30 at night till 7:30 in the morning.
You've got to change your tariff then.
Less than a quarter.
Yeah. And the thing is, you're true about not hearing. I was walking across home-based car park last year, and you get a sense that something's behind you. Look around, there's a blinking car behind me. It's an electric car. Yeah. And my hearing is pretty, reasonably good. I went, it shook the living daylights out of me. You don't expect it. It sort of crept up on me.
Yeah. They're dangerous.
Now, it says here, Ancient Ruby says, they are changing everything you ever knew that works, so you cannot escape their plans. Well, I think it will. You see that earlier, I think it was Flat Earth or somebody was saying about, well, we need to go to the bastards that are doing this. But remember, for mass formation, 30% of us are awake.
Yeah.
30%, the other 30% believe in everything they're being told. And there's 40% just goes with the flow.
Yeah.
So we're in the minority.
What I think it's going to come down to, well, what I know it's going to come down to is you want to be in a position where you can provide food, water, shelter, heat and light for you and everybody you care about, with zero assistance from the government and zero assistance from any corporations.
Yeah.
That's the position you want to put yourself in, right? I'm there. I suggest everybody does whatever they can to put themselves in that position.
Spot right on.
Because these people that are doing this to us have not got the capability to put anybody I care about in a position where they haven't got food, water, shelter, heat, and light, because I will provide that under any and all circumstances.
Good on you.
It's as simple as that.
I agree with you.
I've just seen a nice comment from Aunt Sally there. I will be buying one of these from Dave. I trust him and appreciate the personal time he has given to help us. How nice is that? That's lovely.
Thanks, Aunt Sally. That's brilliant. That's very moving. And it's true what Louise said. New fuels rot the rubbers on old vehicles. It's fuel lines, the rubbers on there. And it's designed to do that. And do you know the new fuel that they've got out? Your car is poor miles per gallon, so you have to fill up more. It's all to do with the old. Because there's a bloke talking on there. He said his car does about 20 miles to the gallon less.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It is absolutely ridiculous.
Russian fuel doesn't do that to your car. They've got the proper stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. I agree with you.
They've got the proper fuel and the proper leader doing God's work as we speak.
And also,
Go on, Vlad. Do it for me.
Well, we could have a program on that, but I don't know whether YouTube would allow us to say very much. But I know that my local council, they've not only got a huge hoarding over the entrance with the Ukrainian flag, they've got a flag flying on the flagpole as well. And I didn't know that local councils were allowed to be political, because I know that people who work for them are not allowed to belong to a political party.
No.
We know somebody who's got a full-size Ukrainian flag flying in his garden.
All right.
Yeah. We obviously don't speak to him.
No. God forbid.
No.
But, right, we've got here. Yes. How big is the fan, please? This is from Kim.
6-inch fan. Pifco 6-inch fan. And they're from Wilco, or they're on Amazon.
Now, JML do one. They do a rechargeable one as well, because I bought that for summer.
There's a few that do it. I chose the Pifco one because they've been around for decades.
Yeah, they have,
Oh, yeah.
I just thought if we're going to go with something that needs to be reliable, we want something that's made up of parts that are reliable.
Yeah.
And like I said, no fan that you buy is 1,000,000% reliable. Things can fail, right?
Yeah.
Which is why we've made the higher vertical portion in this heater so that it will heat your room up without any fan at all.
Yeah.
Right.
Perfect.
And this because I've took into account that electrical items can fail. Now, if you had this item, this ear shorter, if I'd just said, "Oh, we'll have this bit here," and I hadn't bothered sourcing and having these other two sleeves manufactured here, if I didn't have those two, right?
Yeah.
If you're going to run it like that, then you definitely need that fan going, because this is going to end up glowing red.
Yes.
And it can be very, very dangerous. If you knock it over, it'll burn your house down. So I chose to go with a safer option that might not burn as hot, but it's safe. And
what you'd call a spacer, really, isn't it?
It's still a room heater.
Yeah.
Without the fan. And it still works without the fan. Yeah. It's a great room heater without the fan, but the fan makes it perfect.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you a major safety point with that. If you go off to sleep in the room, the heater will burn itself out when it runs out of fuel.
That's correct.
So that is a major safety point.
I know. Yeah. And also, if the fan battery goes flat while it's running and you've fallen asleep, because we've got this built-in distance from the flame to the top, it's never going to get red hot and fall over and burn your house down.
No.
Because like Chris pointed out, the fuel will burn itself out and it just stops. Yeah. If the fan stops while the fuel's still burning, because we've made this extra tall, it's not going to harm anybody.
No. And it's not going to be puffing fumes out that you can die on while you're sleeping.
Yeah, there is no fumes. It's just
perfect.
A brilliant fuel.
Yeah.
Now we've got here, Flat Earth says primitive technology is the best channel for survival. I don't know. I think soon. I think it's going to be Survival Dave, the Survivalist. He will be.
Primitive Technology is an excellent channel, and he's got more hits and more subs than any other hardcore primitive survivalist on YouTube. He is a good bloke, and his skill set is absolutely second to none. Right, yeah. But he is what he says. He is primitive technology. Right.
Yeah.
He just uses stones, sticks, and that's it.
Yeah.
He's got no tools, nothing. He burns holes in logs, builds machines by burning holes in logs. Very, very clever bloke.
Yeah.
But from a practical standpoint, he needs to be in the woods near a river and things. That doesn't work in an urban setting.
No.
You need equipment.
Horses for courses.
That's right. I fully respect that guy. He's fantastic. I watch him myself. But and he's made millions. He's made tens of millions of pounds out of YouTube. And power to his elbow.
Yeah.
There are people that do that, yes. And then this one here, Ancient Ruby, the electric car will only work if they make it a law which will not work. So don't worry.
Fair enough.
Electric cars, I mean, a couple of years ago, I saw a Nissan Leaf for sale for £3,000. It was one of the early ones. Why is it so cheap? It says range up to 50 miles. The battery was buggered. You know how much a new battery was then? I think about £17,000.
That's ridiculous, isn't it?
You know.
Yeah.
Now what we got here? We've got loads in chat here. Now this is an interesting one. Louise Wilcox, we need to go backwards. Horse and cart, open fires for cooking and heating, grow your own food, repair everything. Well, this is off of what I've said before.
Great
the
point.
People in a village, we get this idea, oh, it's tough and all that. Yeah, but there was a blacksmith, there was a person that you could get all the trades you wanted because people had skills.
Exactly,
right? Now those skills have gone because you had to be a jack of all trades to survive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for example, I remember when I was a kid, everybody repaired their own car because cars could be repaired. How many people repair their own car now, apart from me? You know,
no, straight down to a garage now, isn't it?
Yeah. You know, that's it. Now, this is interesting. It will become the people's war. And all government will leave this earth damage, yet we will survive, and it will be known from 2027. That's interesting. Yes. I think that I can't go too deeply into this because obviously YouTube and that. But my feeling is that we're too nice.
Yeah.
We've just been kicked down and kicked down and kicked down and kicked down. Because I think previous generations, can you imagine our ancestors, a teacher teaching children about all kinds of LBG and God knows what? That teacher would have been dragged out and lynched.
Oh yeah,
they wouldn't have stood it.
No, they wouldn't have had that.
Yeah. Now it says here, Louise Wilcox, my hubby does his own car too, Chris. Yeah, it's very difficult now to work on your own car because
computers have taken over. That's why
I've got two old cars. You know, but hang on, we got Ancient Ruby. I used to repair my own car too, and everything around the house too. Yeah, I'm the same. I do my own repairs and everything. What was it? Not just nice, lazy too. Right, you're back, Dave. That is fantastic. So it's about 150 quid.
And the details will be on John's website probably by tomorrow or the day after.
Super.
Yes, that is fantastic. And that heater, I think that, I mean, obviously at a push you could make one out of 2 tin cans, but I think that you know, if everything went up, because I think what they're trying to do now, they're doing away with holes in the wall, you know, where you get the money out.
Yeah.
So that they're going over to this universal credit and cashless society.
Yeah.
They want 100% control. You know, it's quite frightening. But what gets me is the amount of dopes that go around thinking, oh, that's all right, you know.
Yeah, well, I've got one word for all them lot when everything fails. You know what they are?
What's that?
Food.
Yeah.
Mind you, with the amount of people who had there won't be many of them left, I don't think.
No.
Because give it 5 years. I mean, that's what
I just want to add that a degree of safety competence is required to use this item that I'm on about here. This heater. It's definitely not suitable for being left unattended with a child in the room or an animal in the room or anything like that, because it's like anything. If you're a big enough numpty, you will kill yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It needs competence and it needs to be used by an adult. This is not something that kids want to be messing about with and things.
Yes.
You don't want to be. If you're not competent, don't buy one.
Yeah. Kim's just asking, does the heater come with the kit? But you said you have to buy the heater yourself, didn't you?
No, I'll be sending everything except the bricks. Right. The bricks are too expensive to post.
Yeah.
And with the bricks, you come to me and I can get a 10% discount.
Yeah, the bricks are 78p each at Juicens.
Yeah. But I think most places have got a Juicens.
Yeah, but I can get them 10% discount. You see, from Wix. But they're stone engineering bricks. I think you can get them most places, really. But about 80 pence. They're not going to break the bank. You're going to get change out of a fibre, I would have thought.
Yeah, of course.
And also, don't get them if they're stored outside because they're going to be all wet. And although engineering bricks don't absorb moisture as much as ordinary house bricks, of course.
No.
House brick can soak up to 5 times its own weight in water. That's what I heard.
I didn't know
that. Yes. Now this is interesting. Sorry. Kevin Keenan, Chris, it's just a con like climate change, and all the other scams they pull on us. We need to get angry and as quick as possible, like that film. What was it now? Oh, years ago. That bloke says you got to get angry. You're not going to stay in this.
Yeah.
Oh, can't remember the name of the film, but anyway.
No, pets aren't food. Flat Earth.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, but Flat Earth said pets are food. I'm sorry, no, I'd eat people first.
Yeah. Well, they're far less cunning and far easier to catch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. I don't care how many legs my dinner's got. I'm not bothered.
Yes.
2 will do for me. I've got a list.
2 up to 8.
Yeah. Eat MPs. They're going to be a bit chewy though. MPs.
Wood lice taste just like shrimps.
Yeah, you said that. Yeah. I'm not going to try it.
They're actually a crustacean. They're not an insect. They've got 8 legs.
That's right.
Right. We've got here. In the past few years, I've learned to do electrics, plumbing, DIY, growing food, all sorts. It can be very self-sufficient. Thank you.
Well done, Louise.
Well done.
Cold gardening. That's interesting. Now,
Ancient Ruby's asking how much the post will be, but obviously you're going to have to calculate that, aren't you?
Yeah.
As to the weight of the
I mean,
stuff,
that's the main reason we're not sending the bricks, because it'd make it ridiculous.
Yeah.
The bricks are too heavy to post,
Only 150 quid for the kit and 150 quid for postage.
You can pick up engineering bricks almost anywhere. So
it's
not all that problem, And hang on, we're talking about food here. And neighbours, yes, but on a spit, or a nice roast. Oh, hang on a minute, we got dogs are off the list. Well, that's all right.
I think I got some negative feedback from a comment I put on YouTube earlier on. Amazingly enough,
did you?
I was commenting on the people who died in that Chinese plane crash earlier on. All I wrote, it was perfectly innocent. All I wrote was, dogs everywhere are celebrating.
Yeah.
Because there's 130 less people eating them, isn't there?
Exactly, yeah. Right.
Yeah. So that's it. The people get upset about anything, but actually, people are on Facebook and Instagram and things like that. Now, I've recently gone on to Gab. I think you have as well, Deb. And Gab is fully independent. Well, Dave knows more about it. The bloke's got his own computers set up and everything like that. And you can say what you bloody well like.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You definitely can.
And that's what I'm all in favour of.
Deb was laughing at one of my comments on there, which I'm obviously not going to repeat on here.
No, but it was funny. I would get you banned if I repeated that, Chris.
Yeah, we'd all be banned. Yeah.
Right, it says here, Kevin Kinner can make a joke out of 18 pets. Well, I can tell you two true stories about pets. My dad was in the siege of Malta. There was no pets at all. They'd all been eaten. There was the only thing that was around was very, very skinny mules, which were needed to transport stuff around the island. There was no fuel. There was ration fuel, but that was for the aircraft and for anything that desperate. I could never understand why they didn't eat fish. I don't know. But that's an interesting one. And also, I worked with a bloke who did a contract in Nigeria, and he wondered why there was hardly any animals in the jungle. And they said, well, during the Biafran, the Nigerian War, I think it was in 1970, they'd eaten them all.
Yeah.
So there we go.
My step granddad was a Japanese prisoner of war, and he ate a mouse. He watched it coming backwards and forwards, and he fed it bits of stuff, and then eventually he ate it. Not his proudest moment, but
not a very big meal, but every little helps, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Poor sod, they must have really gone through it with the Japanese.
Yeah. So did the mouse.
Yeah. Didn't know it at the time, but yeah.
Right, bottom line is that if there is no food, there will be none for our pets too. Yes, that's very true. But I think what they'll probably do,
Your pets can eat the bits of the neighbours that you leave.
Exactly. There's enough to go around.
Oh, sorry. But hang on, we got one here. What's it? Chinese army had chinks in their armour.
No comment.
It says here, I have deer that come to my garden, a bit of venison, and no one is going to eat them. There is plenty to forage out there. I have comfrey and nettles in abundance. Well, you can eat your nettles,
Yeah.
You eat the nettles. I'm eating Bambi. I'm going to be I'll be down at the zoo with a crossbow.
Yeah.
Well, it's a bit like this Chinese army.
Pair assing round Longleat.
Just firing randomly. It's a bit like Japanese air conditioning. Puts a nip in the ear, doesn't it? Was it got here? Nobody seems to have mentioned the moral stance against vivisection derived products throughout the whole. Startling oversight, in my view. Very good point, Sean Hamer. Yes. But hello, it's old Johnny. Hello, John. Well, you're old, but let me drag. Hello, all the way from America. So, how's the states doing? How's Biden now? They digging him up. They in fact, they could use that heater to warm him up because he looks a bit too cold after they dug him up every morning, didn't they? So there we are. Ancient Ruby says, Dave, you touch my dogs, I will eat you. Well,
look at you.
So, I'm not into eating dogs until there's nothing else left.
Yeah.
Yes. I will burn a body for fuel, but there is no way I'm going to going cannibal. My nettles are far healthier. Not quite as tasty though.
Yeah.
But
long pig with nettle sauce. Anybody?
Now it says Sean Hamer says, I won't be eating people or animals. Getting used to not being constipated though. Overeating combined with foraging is half the battle in my view. My view is the government know that we're only 3 meals away from revolution, and what they will do, they will supply food to you that will be laced with something. Yeah. That's what I think. They're going to come around and have this food. Yeah, it'll be like,
Yeah.
Now,
can't get into you any other way.
And I'll be using it as bait for the neighbours.
Yeah. True story.
You have a copy of the.
I apologise to anybody who thinks that's a joke.
Because it ain't.
No.
Not edible vegetable.
As Davey K, US also here. And we think Biden is non-edible vegetable.
Yeah, it's nowhere near as bright as most vegetables.
No.
So,
and I like it when people think he was voted in. No.
no.
Just let me drag everybody's. This is John Basingland. Let me drag everybody's fat ass out to the desert for a week, and they will eat any animal. Let me have them for 2 weeks, and they will eat their grandmothers.
Yeah.
What if man was still alive?
Yes.
Well, maybe one of them.
I got a shovel. It's like that old joke, isn't it? Somebody suggested that I wear my grandfather's old smoking jacket. So I went up the cemetery and got a shovel.
Yeah. Going back to the comment of this guy who said that if you get dragged out to the desert, you'll eat anything in a very short time. Don't know if any of the viewers are aware, but if you do end up getting shipped to another country where there might be a gulag for the unvaxxed or something like that, and if you do end up in the desert, it's actually teeming with animals.
Yeah.
Even when it looks completely empty, and all you have to do is throw your shirt on the floor, or throw your hat on the floor, or any item of clothing, throw it on the floor, leave it 10, 15 minutes, and every animal can sense the cooler sand that's underneath that item, and they'll all be underneath that within an inch of the surface, and you can just jump on them and bag them all up.
Wow! Unless it's a rattlesnake.
Well, you can eat them. You'd wrap them all in the shirt. You know, you wouldn't be wrangling with them. You'd wrap everything up in the shirt.
Desert.
Yeah.
Now, this is true. Flat Earth says the elite eat people. That's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually very, very small people. About not that big.
Yeah. Not very big. No, Silent Green is McDonald's. Yeah, I agree with that. I know.
What's that? Oh, Silent Green. Yeah, I agree there. And have you heard in Russia they're starting their own McDonald's? No, they're starting their own McDonald's. McDonald's, yes. No. Now it says here. This is interesting. Louise Wickott says the food will be laced with graphene.
I don't know anything about graphene. What's graphene then?
I don't know much about it either.
Tell us about graphene.
It's a highly conductive form of carbon fibre that's used to build microcircuitry. It's the most conductive element that's ever been invented, and they're allegedly injecting people with it. And there's small nanobots building each other out of graphene, and this has been seen in various injections.
Right. What effect? I wonder what effect that would have on us then.
Well, not a very good one.
Well, no, obviously not. But
that's right. Well, this is see the thing is, it says here, if this is true, it says if people, this is ancient Ruby, if the people knew what really is going on, they would take those so-called leaders down right now. Now that's what Henry Ford said. I think it's in the 1930s. He said if people knew the truth about banking, I said that would be. There'd be a revolution before tomorrow morning. And apparently, off the record, Lloyd George said in the middle of the First World War, if people knew the truth, this war would end tomorrow.
Yeah. Same as all wars, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Louise is saying graphene will react to 5G frequencies. Spot on, Dave. Debit kills us. Right. Yeah. I'm with it now. Because that'll be in
there. It says here, answer, he says, make sure you have a show on BitChute. I do.
Yes.
I've got BitChute. It's
she does do.
Yeah. And Odyssey, Chris. Well, I can't get on with Odyssey. It won't let me on there anymore. I don't know what I've done, but you don't like me. But I have got the presence on Odyssey. But BitChute, this show is loaded up to BitChute tomorrow morning.
Yes.
Which will be Tuesday. Which is, if you're watching it on Tuesday, it was yesterday. Was it?
Don't confuse me.
Yes. But
I'm not sure what day it is.
Yeah, But quite honestly, more people have actually been killed by their own governments than all the wars put together.
Yeah.
Oh,
If governments are lethal, and this is why I've often said that governments do not run countries. No. It's usury scammers run countries. Rule countries. Civil servants run countries, and governments are there to rob you to pay the usury scam. Because without a usury scam, you wouldn't need government.
Very, very well encapsulated, mate. Yeah,
you wouldn't need government. Now, my view is that when you see there's a difference between capitalism and free enterprise. I'm all for free enterprise, but I'm against capitalism because when you've got capitalism and government, that equals communism. It'll always lead to it because capitalism will eventually take over the government. But when you've got free enterprise and no government, then you've got freedom. You can go where you want, do what you want, and people become more responsible. Because whilst you've got government, there's people being more irresponsible all the time. It's a bit like the other day I was in a shop, Miles' shop, who I was speaking to last week, and I was looking out, and there'd been a market there, and there's shit everywhere, bags blown around. Yeah, and people have left it because they say, "Oh, I'll pay my council tax." So
somebody else will clean that up.
Yeah, but but anyway, well, we better come for an advert because we haven't had any adverts for a while.
We haven't had any adverts today at all.
No, so we're going to go for where is it? I've lost it now because tomorrow I will be at this What Makes You Ill conference. Well, not conference, a talk.
Oh, yeah.
So that's interesting, and it's about, I better not say on YouTube, but about what really makes you ill. And well, we discussed it on my BitChute channel. Now, where's this advert now? Oh, here it is. So, and the people that are laying it on are these. Hello. If you don't want to meet people like this, dressed in leotards and acting strangely, or if you don't want people that do things like this, then why not go along to Yoga Hearts? You can see the website just here, advertised at the bottom of the page, for jolly nice people, or telephone 07463 021 512. And remember to tell Vicky, who runs the class, where you saw this advert. Thank you very much.
Superb.
So they're actually running this, and it's quite interesting. So, it's worth it, but I can't say too much on YouTube. But it's about what John and I spoke about on my BitChute channel, which is really called the Naughty Show.
Yeah.
And coming up, we're hoping to, on the Naughty Show, speak to one or two people who could not go onto YouTube, have been banned from YouTube. So we're going to but unfortunately, there's not a very high audience figure on BitChute. People don't migrate there. When I actually decided to go over to BitChute, I lost 3/4 of the audience.
Yeah.
So people don't migrate there. But there's certain things about.
You can upload whatever you like on Gab TV. That's a YouTube alternative.
Yeah.
Gab TV.
Oh yes, we might do Gab. That's a good
Gab
idea.
TV's a good one. Yeah, you can say anything you like on there.
I mean, Facebook, all that is fluffy bunnies and tap dancing hamsters. That's all you can talk about, really.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'll tell you the other one is, this is what I have for dinner today, and this is what I have for breakfast.
What, that?
But anyway. Sorry?
Right, the eater, it's now on John's website. He's been uploading it as we speak. So
excellent.
That's good news if anybody wants one.
Right, okay, and his website is, hang on a minute, here it is.
Falsificationofhistory.co.uk.
And it's also below here. If you look in the below this video, you'll be able to see it. Also, what we got here, we've got more comments coming in as we're talking. What's this now? Aunt Sally. George Galloway's Jack.
I will disturb you if the noise is coming out. Right, I'm unplugging these.
Well, he's gone
I think
now.
we lost him there.
Can you hear me?
Hang on.
Yeah,
Oh,
I can
yeah,
hear you.
absolutely. Yeah, we can hear.
Right.
Well, I think we've had a fantastic evening this evening.
We have. It's been good.
Please join us again, Dave, because whenever I say Dave the Survivalist is coming on, eyes light up. Like, oh, goody, we're going to watch him. Oh, great. So,
I'll be talking about everyday carry items next time, if that's all right with everyone.
Brilliant.
Right with me, that's brilliant. Also, next week, we're going to do a show called
John is now emailing Chris the link to the heater on the website.
Right.
That's brilliant. Now, someone asked me here, where was it now? They wanted my email address. Well, you can get my email address from, who was it now? From my website. And my website is Fockham Hall Radio.
Radio.co.uk. No, .com.
But actually, we've got an advert for that, haven't we?
We have got an advert for that.
Let's have a look for my advert for this, but we might as well put it on. Where is it?
You might as well.
Yes, somebody you might know. There it is.
Hello. Are you partial to something a little different? Do you like to give the two-finger salute to mainstream media? Then look no further than Fockham Hall Radio. With its charming mix of information and lots of archive footage, it really is a treat for the senses. You will surely exclaim, well, butter my crumpets, when you peruse all that Fockham Hall has to offer. So, just pop along, quick sticks, to www.fockhamhallradio.com. You'll be assured of a super spiffing time, and as we like to say, Fockham Hall.
I can be posh when I want.
Hey, yeah, no, I like that posh outfit.
Not very often.
Anyway, on there's my email address. You can get through to me on my email on there. I think was it Eric Von Essex at fockhamhallradio.com.
Yep.
So well, thank you very much for coming on, Dave.
No worries. I'll be looking at some everyday carry items next time, and that'll
Brilliant. Look forward to that.
That'll be fun. Yeah.
Everyday carry that'd be brilliant. Okay, you've certainly helped a lot of people, and I think you actually helped to save people's lives. Seriously,
Yes.
I really do.
Yeah,
And
brilliant.
you don't like Yorkshire Deb, and you've worked really hard on that heater. You've done a fantastic job. So thank you very much. And next week the show is called Ear Splitting Loudenboomer. So that's this. Yes, I like that word. It's nice. Ear Splitting Loudenboomer.
Yes.
And it actually comes. So let's leave it a mystery. They have to tune in to find out what Ear Splitting Loudenboomer is about. And please remember to put your thumbs up and subscribe. It costs nothing to subscribe on YouTube.
It's free.
Nothing at all.
It's free for me.
It's free. I'm free. And also, if you're watching this on BitChute, I've also got a YouTube channel. And if you're not watching this on YouTube, I've also got a BitChute channel. So there we go. So thank you very much. And happy birthday to Sue before I go as well. And
Yes.
thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you to all the viewers for tuning in.
Thank you very much. And good night.
For tuning in.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you. And remember, have a laugh.
Okay.